Hello and welcome back to GTA. Now, something about this GTA video is slightly different. Can you notice it? No, you can't? Okay, fine, I'll tell you. I'm gaming on a PC, finally. It's literally taken me 6 months to build this thing, finish it off, I mean, buy all the parts and put them all together. And we are finally here. This is my first ever PC video, and I'm freaking excited to record it. So let's get straight into it with Grand Theft Auto 5, my favourite game. Basically today is a mod video. I think that was probably one of the most exciting things about getting a gaming PC, all this money just to modify GTA 5. Today's video is about a specific mod which adds about 70 cars to the game. Most of the cars are from GTA 4, but I've quickly gone through it and I've noticed that there are a couple that aren't actually in GTA 4, and maybe from an older version of Grand Theft Auto. You will have to excuse my voice because I went to Wales over the weekend and I was at Speedway and I was shouting a lot, so that'll explain all the squeaking and the cracking and the whatever. Let's go straight into it though. I want to be really quick with this video because yeah, I just want to take you through every single vehicle in the pack, and then I'll make a separate video where I will modify a couple of my favourite. I think I've got 5 favourite cars, so I'll just make a separate video where I'll modify those, and hopefully this one won't be too long, but it'll show you every single car that's in this pack. Okay, so I've just opened up the mod menu. I'll go through what a mod menu and stuff is. If you don't know, maybe in another video. I can already see one of the cars over there, the old Fly US. So we will go to the added vehicles menu, and we are going to start on the Albany Buccaneer. Okay, it's just an old car. I do remember seeing this, I think, in GTA 5. The cool thing about this mod, we'll move straight onto the Cavalcade because I really want to get through these vehicles. And this was actually this was definitely my favorite, well, one of my favorite off-roaders in GTA 4. Basically, there was a rare one that went around. It was like green, and it was near the north of the map. And if you had to go there at like a certain time. I remember sweating it out with a couple of my friends, just trying to get that on multiplayer. It's my favourite thing. The cool thing about this pack as well is, if you notice, this is not Nico's. Who's Nico's cousin? Nico, it's your cousin. Nico, it's your cousin. I want to play some Roman. This is Roman's taxi. It's not actually Roman's taxi. It's just the same sort of car. But as you can see, is they look more modern than they did. If you compare them in GTA 4 to GTA 5, they've got a bit more of a shine to them. That wheel's not actually central, is it? Nah, yeah, it's cool. But they look like they belong in this game. Here's the Albany Presidente. And then my favourite version of it was the T-Bogged version, which is just all sporty and stuff. But then my super favourite version of it was the police car. And look at this thing. I actually remember this being slightly purple or iridescent type paint in the Ballad of Gay Tony. I'll have to look on Google, just see if there's a picture of it somewhere. Maybe that'll flash up on the screen right now. But do they? Yes, the sirens actually work in this. That is so good. Oh, wow. This isn't actually one of the cars I want to modify, but maybe in the future I want to see if this is actually modifiable. So maybe we'll quickly do that at the end of this video, actually. Next up, we've got the Anis Pinnacle, which just a pretty boring looking car. Then we've got the Benefactor Feltzer, which is we've actually already got this in GTA 5. Actually, let's have a quick look. I think it's a sports car. There we go. There is the counterpart of the Benefactor Feltzer. So this is the old version of it. This was the GTA 5 non-sport version, and over there you can see the really sporty version, which we're not going to get in because that's not the point of this video. But yeah, we do already have this. We got a much better version of it, but this is a classic version if you just fancy driving around in this, I guess. Next up, we've got the Benefactor Shafter, which, wow, we've actually got one of these as well, I believe. I'm not gonna do this, but I'm pretty sure I've seen at least the rear of this car in this game, definitely. But it does kind of look like the same as the Feltzer, so maybe that's where I've seen it before. Okay, next up we've got the Bravado Feroci, which again, just a normal boring looking car, a bit Honda-y, I guess. Yeah, and then we got the Fly US version, which is my favourite version of it, and the orange light actually works. So I don't know how they would have imported these, whether they've actually had to remake the whole car or they've literally just copied and pasted the files over. I don't quite know. We just got a standard, again, bus. I'm pretty sure we got something like this already in the game, obviously. And I like how it's decaled up to suit Los Santos. Obviously it would probably say Liberty City or something like that. And then we've got a brute Mr. Tasty. Oh wow, yeah, so it's an ice cream truck, which is freaking awesome. Does it though? Because I swear it doesn't have the jingle of the ice cream jingle. Because I swear actually in GTA 4, I think the ice cream truck has a jingle. We've got the Stockade LSPD version of it as well, which was which would have been NYPD or whatever it's called in Grand Theft Auto 4. And then we've got the Noose version of it as well, which is a bit more heavy duty. Let me just change the time of day because we can't see anything. Okay, yeah, so next up we've got the Buckingham Gwar, which is actually a aeroplane, so I'll show you that later. We've got the Canis body, which is just Trevor's truck, but it's clean. So obviously this wasn't in Grand Theft Auto 4, it wasn't in any Grand Theft Auto before this one, but it's the clean body version of Trevor's truck, which is actually really cool. I'm glad to see we've got this in there. You can definitely modify this, so I'm not going to modify this one, but it does look very cool. Next up, the Declasse Merit, which is a very standard looking car, but then we've got the LSPD version of it. This feels like it's already in this game. What I love about this car though is it hasn't got the siren, the light bar on the top. So even though it's not, it doesn't look like an undercover cop car, but it kind of does. It just looks cool without the light bar on it. Then we've got the taxi version of it as well, suited to downtown Cabco, which is really cool because they've obviously re-decaled it. I don't know how they've done this. It's amazing. The Declasse Premier Max Payne 3 variant. I haven't seen Max Payne 3, so I don't really know if this looks like whatever it's supposed to look like. The Declasse Rancher, which reminds me of an old Bobcat actually. I feel like we've already got this, but obviously we haven't. Or we've got something very, very similar. If not, maybe we've already got a Declasse Rancher. Yes, so we've actually got the Declasse Rancher XL. We've got two of them for some reason. Oh, we've got one covered in snow thanks to the mod menu. But yeah, so I wasn't going crazy. This is actually already in the game. But this is the XL version of it. Oh, sorry there, Max Payne. So it's got more doors and not a thingy. I'm going to drive this more because it's got snow on it. Next up, no we haven't, I'm on the wrong menu here. Next up we've got the Sabre, which is like the ultimate classic. They did actually add this in, didn't they? That's not just me being crazy. They've definitely added this in. Or it looks very much like one of the most recent cars that's actually been put into Benny's mod shop. So yeah, then we've got the rusty version of it as well, which I freaking love. I'm definitely gonna try and modify this, see if it's modifiable, see what parts we can add to it and stuff, because that'd be really cool. It'd be cool if you could take it to Benny's, but I know this one definitely can't go to Benny's. Next up we've got the JB 700 or unarmed. We've actually already got this in GTA 5, but I guess maybe the version that we've got has guns on it or something. I don't know. But yeah, that's in here. Then we've got the Super GT. This was definitely one of my favourite cars in GTA 4. Just an old. It reminded me of like an Aston Martin, I guess. The older shape, not the oldest shape, obviously, because that's the oldest shape right there. But yeah, this does definitely remind me of that. Then we've got the Dinka Shavos, which is really cool. It's very normal from the back. I don't know what's going on from the back, but at the front we've got like a Mitsubishi type front. So yeah, that's really cool. Then we've got the Dinka Double T Custom. This is a motorbike. I'm not a massive fan of motorbikes in GTA, to be honest. I mean, obviously they belong here, but it nothing really that excites me. But the Dinka Hakumai, which is, oh my god, I can't believe I wasn't excited about this. This is like a Japanese drift type car. It reminds me of an actual AE86, which I think the Futo's actually based on. But whatever, this reminds me of it as well. And yeah, it's got the little pop-up lights there, which obviously you can't put up or down, but they look really cool. And the weird thing about it reminds me of a drift car, but it's actually front-wheel drive, which is weird. Yeah, then we've got the Dinka Perennial, which is freaking boring. We've got the Fly US version of it, which is boring, but it's cool they brought it in. Dundee Admiral, which looks a bit like the Max Payne car, which we haven't got around anymore, but it does look a bit like it, doesn't it? Front and back-wise. I guess it just looks like a normal saloon. Then we've got the Dundee Stretch, which actually I think is already in this game. There might be one up here. Yeah, so we sort of actually already got this in here, except the difference seems to be that spoiler on the back. That's about it. Or is the rear different? Oh, and the rear's different actually. The rear's more of like a retro-y type limo. But yeah, apart from that, the front looks very similar. It's not quite the same. The lights are a little bit smaller. So like this looks like a very 1990s car, and then that looks like maybe a 2000 car. Next up is the Emperor Locus, which again is just a very standard looking car, pretty boring. Then we've got the Fagio, which is, we haven't actually got a moped in GTA. I don't know if you've noticed that. We've got one, which for like, I'm gonna try and find it anyway. It's like a classic type. Oh, here it is. So we've got like the classic style, like a Vespa type thing, whereas we've got no modern scooters in GTA 5, which I find really weird because I'd imagine there's a lot of them around LA. But yeah, next up we've got literally one of my favourite cars in GTA ever, and that is the Classe, no, not the Classe at all, the Grotti Cheetah, which is like an old Ferrari. This car is freaking amazing. Just look at this. This is just great, and it just looks so good. This car, I don't know how they don't have something like this in GTA 5 already, but this is just amazing. I would love to see more of this around Los Santos. Another thing, these cars do actually drive around Los Santos. If you drive around, it looks really weird because they look a little bit out of place, but they look really cool. But yeah, they do drive around just like every other car. Next up, Grotti Turismo, another supercar that I freaking loved when I played GTA 4. I used to try and get this all the time. The weird thing with GTA 4 is you couldn't really save vehicles because you parked them outside. They weren't really couldn't do much to them. Next up is the HVY APC, which, yeah, this is the vehicle that's in the Ballad of Gay Tony. And the other cool thing about this is it's got freaking guns on it. They do normally destroy cars, like if we go over here, say. There you go, they can destroy cars, it's just the ones that I've done, I've got on, are actually like invincible type things. But yeah, and the cool thing is this gun isn't even in this game. This weapon isn't even in this game, but they've managed to put it on with this vehicle, which is quite cool. Next up, the HVY Brickade, which I don't actually remember seeing at all in the whole of GTA, unless this was in one of the missions. It reminds me of the truck that was in the mission where you bash through the wall, but I don't think this is it. Then next up is the Imponte DF890, fairly standard looking car, quite boring if you ask me. Right, the list doesn't stop. Then we've got the Imponte Phoenix. Am I saying that right? Which is like a T-Bird. This is freaking awesome. I just put on speed boost, so it's a little bit fast. But yeah, this car I'm definitely going to do a video on modifying as well. I'm actually going to do all the videos in one video. All the cars in one video. Next up, the Inverto Corvette, which I actually really hated this car in GTA 4, not 5. Yeah, it just looks odd. It's just something I don't really like about it. It looks like it's like a classic car, but a modern car. I don't know, like a Toyota Supra. It doesn't look like a Toyota Supra, but it's for the same reason I don't like a Toyota Supra, it's the same reason I don't like this car. It looks funny. Then we've got the Karin Futo hatchback, which is, this car is probably one of my favourites. I'll be modifying this one as well. But just to compare it to its long-lost brother, here you can see what a Karin Futo looks like. As you can see, it's got more of a boot. Yeah, this is more of a saloon type. I don't know what this even classes at, because I would say a hatchback, but obviously it's not. And I just love it so much. It looks so Japanese. It looks more drifty than this, I think. But yeah, I'm excited to see what we can do when we modify that as well. Next up, we've got the Sultan Coupe, which we've actually already got in GTA 5. But I think the difference is that when you buy it initially, it comes with 4 doors, and you have to modify it to make it have 2 doors, whereas this just the standard has 2 doors, which is pretty cool. Then we've got I believe this is a motorbike from the Liberty City Stories, or whatever it's called. Yeah, we've got the Chop, we've got the custom version of that, we've got the Nightblade, and then we've got the Zombie, which is just dead, I guess. We've got the Meibatsu Vincent. The name sounds a bit like it, Mitsubishi. It definitely looks like a Mitsubishi at the front, and a little bit at the back too, but the front 100% looks like a Mitsubishi, and this is a pretty cool car. I doubt there'll be much you can do to it, so I won't waste time modifying it, but yeah, this is pretty cool. Then we've got the Shyster PMP 600, which is actually a Chrysler 300C, if you haven't seen one in real life. They're quite nice in real life, but in this, they look freaking ugly. This was definitely one of my favourite games. In fact, I found an old YouTube channel of mine, like really old, where I was driving this car around. I literally filmed it on like my mobile phone. It was absolutely terrible. But yeah, I was driving this car around, and I just loved it so much. But in here, I think the grille looks a bit cringy. But yeah, that's gross. Then we've got the NRG 900. This is definitely just a super bike that I just remember from GTA. It just looks awesome. I don't even know, do we have this in GTA 5? Because if we don't, we definitely should. It just looks amazing. Definitely one of my favourite super bikes of all times, and I'm not really into bikes. We've got the Ubermac Rebula, or Rebla, whatever, which is just a standard looking 4x4. But you can tell, like, this is pretty old looking if you compare it to like the ones that we've got in GTA 5 now. It just looks very old. There's a really old element about it. I don't know, but it is beautiful, but it's a bit of a weird shape, isn't it? Then we've got the Sentinel, which is a 3 Series BMW, which actually my buddy Dom had one of these in real life, so it was pretty cool in GTA 4. I don't think he had it while we had GTA 4 actually. It was when we got GTA 5 that he got it, but still, doesn't matter. It's a really cool car. I'd expect to see something like this in GTA 5, but there's actually nothing like a 3 Series in there, which is really weird. Then we've got a Bobcat, which is really cool. I think we've already got this actually in GTA 5. I swear we've got a Bobcat. Anyway, I can't find it, but yeah, I really think I've seen this car in GTA 5 before, but maybe it's just that fresh in my mind. I just love it. It's a really cool car. Then we've got a cabbie. I think this is a truck. Oh no, this is just a boring car. So we'll just move on to the next one. This is, oh sorry, no, yeah, actually correct myself. I said that this was the car that showed up in green, but that was a lie. Actually, what this car here was rare, and oh, there we go, I'm in it again, for God's sake. It was actually this, the Vapid Contender, that if you drove to the north of the map in GTA 4, you got like a rare version of this, which is like metallic green or something. And metallic cars obviously weren't around in GTA 4, so it's really cool to see that. Vapid Fortune, fairly standard, boring looking car, very 90s, like if not 80s. It just looks really, really old and boring, just like standard. And there's a Huntley, which is the Range Rover Sport actually, and this was definitely one of my favourites in GTA 4. Everyone loved this though. There was even a Rastafarian version of it, which just blew my mind. It was just so cool. It looked awesome. We got the Vapid Interceptor, which just looks normal. It's a civil police variant. I don't know what that means. I think that just means maybe off-duty cops got to take this home. I don't know why, but yeah, that's that. Vapid Stanier, which I'm surprised actually that we don't have a cop version of this, because this is we do have a cop version of this already in GTA 5, that's why. Anyway, next up, Vapid Steed, which is our first truck, which is awesome. Oh, sorry about that. And then we've got a Vapid Uranus. This is definitely one of my favourite cars in this pack. Anyway, it's an old Ford. I don't know what Ford it is though. If Dom is watching this, they'd be going crazy, because maybe I should know. I don't know. Or maybe he disagrees with me. Maybe it doesn't look like a Ford. But still, it's freaking awesome, this car. I'll definitely be adding this to the list of modifying cars, or cars I'm going to modify. I don't know. Then we've got the Vapid Yankee, which is like very see-through. Maybe that's not spawned correctly. Let's try again. There we go. Yeah, we've got the Vapid Yankee, which is like a beefed up version of the Vapid Steed, I guess. And then we've got the pickup version of it, which is just like a flatbed version of the Vapid Yankee. Then we've got a Western Company Helltors Maverick. Oh, okay, yeah, so this is the old, I don't know if you remember, like in GTA 5, there was you could do tours of Liberty City, and it was in one of these, except is this themed differently? Does it look the same? I don't know, it looks like it's painted the same. I don't actually think if there was any planes or anything in this pack that they'd work, but obviously they do. Then we've got the Western Motorcycle Company Angel, then we've got another Angel for some reason, a Diablo, a Freeway, a Hell Fury, a Wayfarer, which are my favourite glasses, so therefore this is my favourite motorcycle, a Wolfsbane, is that what it's called? Yeah. And then we've got a classic car, which is a Willard Marbell, I don't know, which would look really cool. This would be really cool as a lowrider actually. So if it had like features where you could modify it at Benny's, which I know it doesn't, but still that would be really cool if we had like hydraulics and stuff. It'd just be cool. Then we've got a slightly more modern car, which is the Willard Solaire. This looks like a car we've already actually got in GTA, doesn't it? But yeah, for the life of me, I cannot remember what car this is. But we've definitely got something like this. We've got a estate in GTA 5, which looks very much like this anyway. Then we've got the Willard, which is another classic car. This actually reminds me of the car in Breaking Bad that the old guy uses. I don't know. Does that look familiar to you? Definitely does. It looks like an old, like a classic, cool car. Then we've got a sedan, a Zirconium Stratodam sedan. This is actually our last car of the thing. And yeah, actually, the front of this looks like the car that the back of this belongs to. This is a really odd shaped car though. It's kind of really ugly. Like, I really don't like it. I don't know if that's just me being fussy, but it's like an old Nissan Skyline maybe. But it just looks a bit different, maybe. There's nothing wrong with being different, of course, but yeah, not my thing. Definitely not my style. Okay, so the last one we need to spawn is the Buckingham Gwar, which is actually a aeroplane, and I don't know if this actually flies, but I guess we're about to find out. The texture's a bit funny there on the roof, as you can see, but let's have a look. Let's have a go. Let's see if this does actually fly. I want to get rid of the menu. There we go. Either way, if it flies, we've got to take off before we hit that helicopter. Whoa! Yeah, it does. Oh, sweet. It's quite easy. It's quite easy to control as well. Whoa, that was close. Whoa, oh, this is all very close. Just bring her in for a soft landing, maybe. Nah, we're just gonna crash. Let's just park it right here, shall we? There we go. Oh, that's weird. That is weird. Okay, for some reason, when you stop, the stairs come down, but you just can't. You don't get in the plane like that. Ouch!
Ah, that hurt.
I didn't do that. That was you. What am I doing? Am I crawling? Oh, I'm in crawl mode. I didn't know you could do that in GTA.
Oh,
is that a thing? Ah, yeah. There's not really anything you can do. You can put lights on it. You can put neon. And you can change the tyres. That's it, you can't do anything to this. Okay, that's cool. Sorry, that was just something I was really quickly wondering. Okay, so that's it for that video. Lesson 1 of when I'm recording on my PC is I need to set a timer or something because I have no idea how long I've been recording for. So really sorry if this is a super long video. These are the 5 cars I'll be modifying. So from right to left, we've got the Sabre Rusty version. If that doesn't work, we'll try the non-Rusty version. Then we've got the Dinka Hakumai. I want to see what we can do with that because it's a bit drifty. We've got the Grotty Cheetah, which is a classic sports car. Oh, there we go, Franklin. You're alright, you're good, cool. Then we've got the Imponte Phoenix, which is really cool. The Vapid Uranus, and actually one more car I've completely forgotten about. The Karin Futo, of course. So yeah, we've got all them 6 to be modifying in the next video. Hopefully, again, that won't be too long. But yeah, we'll modify all of those next time. For now, thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, hit thumbs up. If you like my videos, hit subscribe. I've really, really wanted to do PC gaming for a very long time, so this is literally like a dream come true for me. So sorry if I'm overly excited when I'm recording videos now, but thank you very much for watching. If you like the video, hit thumbs up. If you like my videos, hit subscribe, and I'll see you in a bit. What you're seeing on the screen right now is a trailer for GTA 6, and I just want to say that is not a trailer for GTA 6 at all. Everyone knows it. It's a trailer for Driver. I believe it's a trailer for Driver San Francisco. I've played that myself on Xbox 360. Very good game, highly recommended, but it's definitely not GTA 6. Okay, we've moved out of the way.